Hi, my name is Marni, and from here on out, I am going to be your own personal wing girl. I'm going to tell you everything that you need to know about how to get her, keep her, and leave her wanting more.
Question. I've been told that touching is important if I want to make a connection with a woman, but I'm worried about being too forward. How can I make physical contact on a first date without creeping her out? Answer. Every girl loves a creep. A guy that doesn't make eye contact because he's too busy gawking at her chest, doesn't listen when she talks, and stands super close to her with his whole body facing directly at her. Give me some of that. Hopefully you can tell through my Canadian accent that I'm being sarcastic. No girl likes a creepy guy, and definitely doesn't want to be stuck on a date with him. So here are 5 tips on how to incorporate touching into your dates and avoid being the creepy guy. Establish touch immediately. Nothing creeps a girl out more than a guy who is incongruent. If we're on a date and you haven't established a connection and start touching me 30 minutes into our date, little red lights go off in my head saying he's trying to get something from me and this feels really uncomfortable. You want to establish that you are comfortable with touching within the first few minutes of a date. Don't overtouch. Continuing from tip number 1, I don't want you to start becoming Pokey the Bear and continuously grope a woman throughout your date. You should be touching a woman every 5 to 7 minutes for no longer than 1 to 2 seconds in her special zones. More on that in a second. As you move through the phases of attraction, you can increase the amount of time to a maximum of 3 seconds and combine it with eye contact and a smirk. Super sexy. Touch her special zones. When touching a woman, stick to the extremities. You shouldn't touch a woman's hand too early on unless it's to shake her hand or give her a high five. Stick to the shoulders, upper arms, and the upper back area. Keep it light, short, and do not linger. Again, 1 to 2 seconds max. Setting intentions. To ensure you don't land yourself in the friend zone, it's important to know what you want throughout each phase of the date and match your touch with each intention. Typical intentions for a first date are attraction, connection, and seduction. The more you know what you want, the easier it will be to convey that with your touch. Don't be afraid to touch. Nothing's worse than a guy who second-guesses his actions. Steps 1 to 4 should provide you with the confidence you need to touch freely without fear. But to ensure you're good and ready to touch on your next date, I have an exercise for you. All right, it's research time. For the next week, find 5 women, better if they're your friends, and ask them to help you practice touching. Ask them what feels good, what feels bad, and what feels creepy. The more you practice, the more your future dates will be turned on by your touch instead of creeped out.
For more tips on dating, attracting, everything about women, check out my website, winggirldatingtips.com.